What up, y'all? It's me again. I'm back with another video, and this video is called Story Time with Greatest Lifts. Now, I know a lot of y'all are probably wondering, why do I use those red and black wraps on my elbow? Well, I'm gonna tell you how that all happened, the story behind all that. Some years back when I was powerlifting, I was about 19 years old, I was struggling on the bench. I was stuck at like 385, 395 or something like that. And I was trying to crack that 405-pound barrier, and I couldn't because I just didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't have the right technique, the proper training in order to progress to that next level. So one day I was at the mall, man, and I saw this big ass human being, and this guy's name is Big M. Big M was like Incredible Hulk big. Never did a bodybuilding contest. Dude was from Nigeria, good friend of mine. But first time encountering this dude was at the mall. So I went to the mall, I think I was buying like some protein powder or something. And he was standing there with his family. Like, he had on like this tiger stripe body shirt on with some slacks, and he had his wife standing there with him with his son and daughter. And I had looked over, and I looked and I said, who the fuck is that? That was my expression, man. I was like, that dude is huge. One of the biggest human beings I had ever seen in my life. Arm had to be around like 23, 24 inches, man. Dude's whole arm took up the whole side of his family. Like, he was standing off to the side, and I was just like, wow. Mouth just dropped down to the ground. That's how big this dude was. So I walked away. I left out of the mall, and I was like, man, if I could only be that big one day. I would love to have a conversation with that dude, man, to see, what did he do to get that way? So guess what? That following week, he signed up for a membership at the same Gold's Gym I was working at. And he was down there. I walked downstairs in the Gold's Gym, and I was like, man, I ran into him. I was like, it's you. I said, I ran into you at the mall. I saw you the other day at the mall, and I was like, I thought that I would never see this dude again. And it was crazy that him and I had developed this friendship, and we started lifting together, and he made me better. And one of the tips that he gave me was that he was like, man, if you're struggling on the bench, use those red and black wraps that you have and wrap them around your elbow. I had already had the wraps, but I was only using them as knee wraps. And he told me to wrap them around my elbow, and I would be able to bench more. And he also told me to bring my fingers in closer on the bench, because I had this wide grip on the bench, and it was putting my rotator cuffs too much in a vulnerable position, exposing them too much to injury. So he told me to bring them in closer to where I would, when I bench, I would rely more on my front deltoids and my lats instead of just relying on straight shoulders. So those two tips helped me tremendously on the bench press, man. See, he wore like these white raggedy wraps, and this dude would just warm up with 315 like it was a toy. He would bench 315 like 20, 30 reps. I have never seen it. He would take 3 plates on each side and make it look like a toy, man. He would have the whole gym just sitting there with their floors down to the floor, like, and all. That's how serious it was when you would see this guy lift. He would make everything look like a toy. Even though he did these half reps, his reps were like an inch away from his chest. He didn't do full range of motion. I gotta put him out there, man. Like, his form was shitty. But the dude was so big that you didn't even care about that. Like, that didn't matter. Like, his traps were all the way up to his ears. His fucking chest, I mean, he didn't have like a big chest, but his arms and shoulders and his back made up for the things that he lacked on body parts, man. The guy was just phenomenal. Like I said, man, he definitely gave me some pointers to help me bench more. And I went from benching 405 to benching 500 at like 19, 20 years old. You know what I mean? I remember, I'm not even gonna go into that story right now. That's for a different day. But that's how those red and black wraps came about. Those wraps you guys see me wrap up with all the time. I mean, some of you will probably be like, why don't you just buy some more wraps from Enzer? So, you won't have to take all day wrapping up your elbow. But the thing about that is the measurements, man. I don't want to order a size too big or too small, and then I'm screwed. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, hey, stick to what I'm used to. I've been using these wraps for so many years that I'm just used to them. I know how to wrap them very fast, and you know, when you get used to something, you don't want to stop doing it. You know, you stick with what works. So that's how the black and red wraps came about, man. Thanks to Big M. The dude gave me some helpful tips to be as strong as I could on that bench. And him and we eventually worked out with each other. And we was throwing around some weights, man. We threw around some shit. We, like 405 pounds was a joke. We would rep that up. We would rep that. Like some people, they sit there, they gotta pray and do all this extra thinking. We would just throw plates on and just rep them. And eventually, from working out with him for so long, dude, I had got up to 295 pounds of body weight. Like I was huge. Like I had got bigger than him. He looked at me one day and told me I was too big. So that just goes to show you that, you know, being around certain people that are successful at something, you want to be around those people because they can make you better. That's the moral of the story. You know, hang out with people that are better than you. You know, I worked out with a guy that was better than me, and he took me to the next level. So right now, man, I'm about to eat me some barbecue chicken. I just finished my second workout of the day, my cardio. I'm eating this barbecue cauliflower chicken right here. Check it out. Yep, that's my second meal of the day. And stay tuned for more stories from Greatest Lifts, because I had plenty of them. I got plenty of gym stories. So I'll holler at y'all later.